Am I up, Cameron? Okay. We want to welcome everyone to our November board meeting. Remember that if you would please, that we have some sign-in sheets so we know who's here. Patron comment sheets are over there for anybody who wants to make any. There you are. You're late, and I was going to pick on you. Sorry.
She's right on time.
Actually, you're right on time.
That's 7 o'clock, right?
Yes. Anyway, that we need you to sign over there as well. So I want to call this meeting to order and ask Terry if you would please do a silent roll call. And again, I want to say welcome to everyone who's here. And at this time, Reed Cotton is going to lead our prayer, and then Cameron Jackson will lead the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated. We have before us an agenda tonight that we need to amend at this time. There was inadvertently put an agenda item for for a bus bid, and we don't have that. That was inadvertent. And then also it has been requested. Mr. Sukan, do you want to make them? We have to make a motion
on the consent agenda.
on the consent agenda.
Or are we approving the regular agenda?
Well, we have
first?
to. We can pull it out now.
Okay. I would move that we pull travel out of the consent agenda and move it to a discussion item just for some clarifications.
Okay, motion by Mr. Sukan for that.
Second
Second by Mr. Claridge.
Okay, so you're making two motions to amend the agenda, or are you doing it together?
He's doing that one first, and then we will amend the agenda with the budget, and then the bus bid, and the other was. Okay.
Right,
Yes.
with the consent agenda.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And then we need to amend the official agenda with those two items.
Madam Chair, I move that we amend the agenda to reflect the removal of the bus bid that was inadvertently placed on the agenda.
Okay. Okay, motion by Mr. Supan. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Anderson. Any further comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion is amended. Thank you. Did anyone have any comments or questions real quickly on the consent agenda that was before us tonight, other than the one item? I don't think mine's working. Or this one, I should say. Unless, this is number 4, Cameron, can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that includes all, then we are looking at minutes. A, payment of bills, payroll, treasury report, and activity reports, disposition of district property and fixed assets, and personnel, which includes the revised salary schedule. So with that, are there any comments or questions on the consent agenda? Those items.
I think I'm good with the rest of it. So.
Okay. All right. The consent agenda is adopted by unanimous consent then. Miss Ivy. I think that's you. Italy. Ivy, Italy. It's a couple of letters. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I've been called everything but books, so I'm good.
Well, you have an unusually pretty name, so I'm ashamed of myself for not remembering it.
For my birthday. So.
You got it for your birthday?
Yes.
Very good.
That's a good one.
Okay.
We have so much going on at Minidoka. I'm very excited to share with you. First off, we had 2 football games. Those were our last ones, sadly. but then we're moving into basketball, which is totally fine because I love all the sports. So we did have a band and choir concert. We were really well attended, and they did amazing. So they just did a really good job. We have a lot going on December 7th. We have a choir. Oh, excuse me. I'm all nervous. We have an orchestra concert, and then we have our Christmas carnival. We also have a wrestling tournament and a basketball tournament. I think. A lot of information.
Wow.
On December 7th,
On December 7th.
as well as the FFA auction and banquet.
Oh, really? I was not aware of
I think that's on the 7th as well.
I
I think I saw that.
think so.
Yeah, I think that's what the calendar said.
We have
Yeah.
plenty of things to go.
Yeah.
Plenty of options on the 7th.
Oh my gosh, show up. We had our trick or treat just last month. It was amazing. I had so much fun. We had a great turnout, and that was better than usual. I'm really proud of us. Our state swim, our girls won. I'm so proud of them. And then we had several place from 5th to 1st.
Ooh.
So woohoo for them. They did an awesome job. We switched to ice skating. We don't really like that. But we did our juniors DWA assessment, which wasn't very fun. But I do like writing, so it was okay. But I think that we, as juniors, did an awesome job. So, just so you know.
Okay.
That was just a 2-day thing that we did. And December 7th, we had our Christmas carnival. So instead of having a big, like, musical thing, like an assembly that we do for about an hour and a half, we're switching it over. So we call it, like, the gift of green. So it's still going to be, like, a fundraiser. We did this last year. It was a lot of fun. We had lots of people show up. So hopefully this year we'll have even more. We'll have, like, games, food, just all these things that we can do, like prizes, and it'll be really fun. I'm excited. Boys basketball and girls basketball has started. Girls basketball has already played 2 games. They play tomorrow in Burley, which is super exciting. Boys basketball has started practice. I don't think they've gone to a game yet. Wrestling has started. Super exciting. Thanksgiving break is this week. Who's excited? Right? Super excited. I think everyone needs a good break. FFA went to nationals. I didn't know about their banquet, but I heard they had a great time at nationals. They always do. We had 2 people of ours, get their American degree, which is amazing. Clay, was it Stapleman?
Yeah.
Yep, and then Nevaeh Villalobos. We're so proud of them. They did awesome. And I think that's everything.
Okay.
So,
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
I need to slow down next time. Sorry.
Well, you did well.
Yeah, I know we're pretty intimidating. I'm sorry. I know. So,
Do you guys have any questions?
anybody have any questions for Miss Italy? Just thank you for coming. Thank you.
Do I just sign this paper?
You can.
No? Free
Unless
to
you
go.
unless you really want to stay, it could be exciting.
I think you scared me enough. I'll see you next one. Bye.
Bye. Is there anyone here from Mount Harrison? No. Well, you are. Are you going to give? You want to give the student representative report? You can stand there. I'll let you. I think we can hear you.
Okay, thanks.
But make sure you look in the camera too.
Okay.
We do need a break.
On the 9th of November, we had our Veterans Dinner. We had about 80 people come to it. It was really good. We had pulled pork, baked potatoes, salad. If you want to have a taste of the cinnamon rolls, you've got to go to Camel Grill and get them.
They were amazing.
And
this big.
well, ours weren't that big.
The ones I saw were.
Well, the ones you get there are, but when you face them, it's not quite that big.
Well, the ones at the Veterans Dinner were huge.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know. Somebody's watching.
We are winding down and having a harvest festival tomorrow.
Oh.
A dance, you know.
Does that mean you're gonna dance?
Yeah.
I Never mind, you don't need that history.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna stay in my room and let the kids come in and play games.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, because some of the kids don't want to be in there where they're dancing, and I don't want to lose my hearing, so I don't go in. So, but we've got, like everybody else, we've got about 3.5 weeks left of second quarter, so we're trying to wrap that up. Other than that, we got the water in the greenhouse, but the hydrant wouldn't shut off.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's the hydrant wouldn't shut off after they turned it on. We gotta figure out that. But we turned it off inside the building. Anything else you'd like to know?
Anybody have any questions? For Thomas?
That's great.
Thanks for your impromptu
Thank you.
speech.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Any speech teacher would be proud of you for that one.
Well, probably not mine, but all right.
All right. Veronica Granillo, and do you want to start with the Hispanic Youth Leadership Summit? Where did you go? There you are.
Move to the back. Yes, I'm gonna. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm Veronica Granillo. For those of you who don't know me, I'm new here in the district, but I was the ESL teacher, and I actually had the opportunity to man a lot of these trips that we take. And every year we take a trip to CSI. We take a group of 70, 80. I'm trying to think. I think it was like 83 students that we took this year to CSI. They have a lot of different workshops that the kids can go through to group them together, different things. The most important thing though is the scholarships. Students, seniors are able to apply to different scholarships, and all of the colleges in our area are actually basically represented. And I am here to give you guys a list of the awards that some of our students got this year. So I'll start with the real big one. Well, the biggest one is our student Gabby Dominguez. She got two of them. One of them was for Boise State University, $3,000 a year for 4 years. Another one, same student, to Idaho State University, $1,000 for 4 years. Another student, Lisandro Leon, got one from ISU for $1,000. Wendy Valiente, diversity scholarship, U of I, $1,500. Gilbert Rodriguez, he got a diversity scholarship as well from U of I for $1,500. Alejandro Olivares, diversity scholarship, U of I, another $1,500. Brian Doroteo got one from Lewis and Clark State College for $1,000. Josue Lopez got another diversity scholarship from U of I and for $1,500, and as well as Cynthia Orozco. So just a little, just a little side note on these students. All of these diversity scholarships are for basically from U of I are like for migrant students. Students have been migrant or are migrant. And for me, it's proud to see them going out there and doing these because they're always, usually out of their comfort zone. They don't feel like they can do this. So it's a really proud moment for me to see that they're doing it. And that's basically it. Look forward to next year, and I'm hoping that we can get some more students in there and get some more scholarships for them. Okay, so raise the hand. So I'm just gonna say it. How many of you guys do I owe?
Justin?
Okay, they know. Okay. Also, on a little side note, we just went to the homeless conference, and we also went to another conference, the FACE conference recently. Not presenting on that today, but soon to come, we'll be giving you guys a report for that. So.
So, if I may ask, when did you go to this to CSI with the number of students?
September.
In September?
September 15th.
Okay.
September, yeah. September 15th,
okay.
Yes. So.
That's great.
Does anybody have any other questions about that?
Well, thank you for sharing with us. We appreciate
That's
it.
awesome.
It's really good.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. You too. East Minico.
Yeah, those guys over here, I guess, huh? So thanks for letting us talk to you tonight about our good news, and we've decided to approach it a little bit differently. Rather than just talking about all the great things that are happening in East Minico, we want to be more specific tonight and talk to you about as you know, we've received some really specific and terrific training for much of our staff that all of our staff has benefited from lately. And so I wanted to share a few things from that tonight that we've taken and also implemented in our schools immediately. And I guess the takeaway to lead us off tonight real quickly is um, what we found is that East Minico is doing the right thing right now on the way we're approaching students. There's a presenter that talked to us that said an education is a simple formula. It should be intelligence plus character. And so intelligence obviously is instruction, academic, implementation of good curriculum, and all the great teaching practices that our teachers employ every day for instruction. But in addition to that, it takes some character education and training for our kids as well, especially at the middle school level, where they're just not sure how to act. I mean, frankly. So, and we love them for it. So we want to share with you tonight a few things that we've implemented just right now this year, including some changes as recent as last week, to make sure we're filling both sides of that, which is the academic side plus the character side. Some of that's related to what you approved last month with our second step program, which has been implemented. Last week was our first week, and we're off and running, which is awesome. So we just want to talk to you about that tonight and answer any questions you have. So I'm going to let Mr. Heath talk about what our week looks like and some of the things we've implemented.
Yeah, so the advisory program in particular is one that we've done a lot of research on over the last year, and we've just discovered that our focus in the past few years has been a lot really just strictly on academics, and we decided we wanted to go a little bit stronger on the character piece of things. And so we kept the academics. On Mondays we do math Mondays, and we drill those kids on IXL, which is an online program. We make those kids, we have them like nobody's allowed to do anything but, and they get on and they go 30 minutes strong, and it's mostly just working on math skills, very specific math skills where they can get proficient on.
And there's a diagnostic part of that program that says where the kids are at and what holes they have in whatever grade level they're on or below. And so the skills that they're working on are targeted towards where those holes are, which is really great for a half-hour week. So it's been great.
Yeah, we do things, kind of make it fun. We do the leaderboard challenges school-wide. We give out some, the kids who are doing as many skills proficient by the end of the 30 minutes. We give them some prizes and stuff just to keep them motivated and engaged. And teachers are coming up with creative ideas with that too. So we've enjoyed the Math Mondays. So trying to continue to keep that academic piece. On Tuesdays, we actually have the teachers meet directly with each student in their advisory class, and they will go over their grades and they'll write down places where they need some additional work, and the teachers will advise them on specifics on, looks like your math grade is going down a little bit. What do you need to do? And the kids can come up with solutions along with the teachers guiding them. On Wednesdays, we switched it to
Second step
on Wednesdays. Yeah. So on Wednesdays that's when we do our second step program. And in the last year or so, we've talked with a lot of middle school teachers in regards to, what are you using to teach your students character? And that's second step has been the one that continues to rise to the top. There's a few other good ones out there, but that seems to be the one that they keep on saying is really strong in teaching students good character skills. And so it's just a good opportunity for the teachers to talk with the kids about respect and responsibility and what to do in difficult situations. And then finally on Thursday, we do our community circles. And within there, the teacher actually will have the students come up with topics of what they want to talk about. Sometimes it's as simple as, why can't we chew gum? And other times it's like, we're really struggling with friends and we're losing friends or whatever, and how to kind of move on from those situations. So but the kids come up and they drive the conversation, and the teacher typically just kind of facilitates and lets the students talk about things, and it's been really positive. Overall, just what we really want is for each student, every single student in the school, to have at least one trusted adult, and that's been research based through and through. One trusted adult can really change the lives of students. And if they can have that in middle school, hopefully they can continue to find that trusted adult as they get older.
And so some of those things all those things that we've implemented have kind of had that goal in mind. How are we going to facilitate opportunities or collisions with our staff and our students to help them form those relationships that will help them in middle school and beyond. So some of these things are in their infancy, which is but it's been fun to get going on some different things. And advisory our staff finally feels like advisory isn't just hammering kids on grades and or babysitting kids for a half hour. We feel like our advisory program right now is set up to where it's a really, really, really good use of time for the staff and for the students. So it's been successful to start, and we'll keep you posted on it. So, any questions about those types of things?
So this 30 minutes each of these days takes place during advisory.
Yeah, at the end of the day, our advisory is at the end of the day for the last 30 minutes of each day.
Is that something that you would if we were to come visit on one of those days, would we be disturbing what's going on, or I'd love to see that in action?
No, you're welcome to come anytime. Our teachers are used to that. Like we go in, some of our teachers need a little bit more modeling, so we'll go in and conduct the classroom circles or the second step stuff. But you're welcome to come. Yeah, it'd be cool actually if you guys just come check it out, see what it looks like. Classroom circles kind of freak people out a little bit, but it's been really, really good. It's been really good, and we've had some really productive. I conducted one this last week, for example, that was on. I had lots of suggestions by the kids, but then one question came up: what if I was the principal for a day? And I say, okay, well, what would you do? And it opened up like a whole bunch of different avenues for discussion about things that were pretty cool to talk about. So that's the intent of it, is just to talk to kids, meet them where they're at, what their concerns are, and talk through those things. So it's been really fun actually.
So did they know what you do all day?
No. the kid that brought it up, I said, well, what'd you do? And he said, first of all, I would allow his friend to play Xbox, and then I would take a nap. And I said, that's exactly what I do every day. So you'll be just fine. So, yeah.
This is great. I love this.
I'm glad you're in it.
Yes.
Doing it.
Appreciate that. We'll see how it goes through the year, and we'll adjust as we need to. But I think we have a good program.
The invitation is definitely open for you to come see.
Yeah,
and so call us or whatever. We can tell you which day which day is which, if you want to see any one specific thing in action. So. Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Have you done any testing yet to know how anything's going yet, or is that all going to be more in the spring?
So we do our STAR testing, which is its own beast to compare stores against stores. One thing I really love though about the IXL program is as we have the kids go through, count up their skills proficient in IXL. There are some kids get really competitive on those leaderboards. I mean, like, seriously, the one mistake we made the first time we did a leaderboard is we ended it at midnight, and we didn't think that kids would stay up till midnight competing, but they did, and they came the next day, and we're like, I didn't even sleep last night. I was up till, I'm like, we'll cut it off at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something. But we had one kid who actually he had maxed out to 10th grade level on the IXL skills, to proficient on the skills. And so now we're working on mastering the skills, not just proficient, but mastery of those skills. And so it's kind of cool to see, and he's a 6th grader. So it was kind of cool to see, like we can see some measurement just within that program, and it'll kind of pit the kids against each other, in a friendly way, but it's pretty cool.
There's a ton of data related to that program that we're just still figuring out. I mean, we've only had it for a handful of months, and so there's a whole bunch of data in there, and we're trying to figure out how to use it and what it means, because you have some kids that won't give. Each class is different, right? Each advisory class. So we're just trying to figure out how to make sense of the data and what kind of reports it can give us, and what exactly that means. The skills proficient's a really good one because it tells us and to be proficient on a skill, you have to show 80% accuracy over a period of time. So it's pretty accurate that way, which is cool to see, and you can see the kids gaining that proficiency. But I should say too, I excels for all four subject areas. So we have science teachers using it as a supplement. We have our social studies teachers using it. It's just kind of a cool supplementary thing to go through curriculum. So it's been pretty good. But we'll know more in another few months here.
Very nice.
Is there a correlation with collaboration with West Minico on things and how? Because they're kind of doing a similar program.
Yeah.
Right
So what I know about West Minico, and West Minico people can correct me if I'm wrong. They have implemented what they call Achieve, Brandy.
Yes.
Achieve in the middle of the day.
Yes.
Okay. So it's an advisory model, but in the middle of the day where students are allowed to participate in different activities that they're interested in, and each teacher is teaching a certain thing, right? Is that how that works?
Huh?
Okay. So but I know that they've implemented that, and so I don't know much more beyond that. But they've tried to revamp their advisory program as well to kind of meet that one goal criteria to say we want to connect with students, and I guess that's all I know about that.
Well, one thing that we'll be able to do, as each middle school is doing something a little bit different, at the end of the year, we can look back and say, okay, which one do we think had the greatest impact on students and student achievement? And if it's the one East is doing, then we can look, hey, West, let's look at what East is doing, and let's see if we can try and do the same thing, get the same results. If it's vice versa, I'll go to Greg and say, hey, we need to really look at what West has done. These were the growth that their students saw. And so we'll be able to compare the two.
Okay.
And I think a lot of these things that we're trying, like Dustin said, they are research based, and not just to show improvement in responsibility and character traits, but it has been shown to increase that academic achievement score. So we're putting that to the test, and we'll see how that. And of course, it doesn't happen overnight, but that research is there to back those types of things that increase student achievement. So we're trying to hit both fronts of that, and hopefully we see gains both directions. So
Nice. Very good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for bringing your information to us.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The IXL, yeah, I can share, but it's not too expensive. But he didn't bring his juice tie tonight. I guess I was going to lead off by just saying I can't believe you guys wouldn't postpone the board meeting because the Chiefs are playing.
Say Eagles tonight.
And I can be arrogant, so don't be that guy.
I could say who cares, but I probably won't do that.
No.
There's at least one person.
I'd raise my hand too, right?
I would too. Yeah.
I thought, is it inappropriate for me to make a motion?
That just means you're a Taylor Swift fan, right?
It did. I'm close to my office as we speak. I'm a Swiftie. Until she hurts my tight end, then she's gonna have to answer.
Wow.
I want you to know it's a miracle I even know about that. Shane Fan died last night at her concert in Rio.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Patron comments.
I sent the board
Yes.
that last week.
Right.
Anyway, it's a resolution
Mhm.
on the Constitution that they wanted the board to support.
And I saw it when we were at the convention, which I didn't see it on board book, which means we'd have
Because she was going to do a page. I thought she was going to be here tonight, but she apparently didn't make it.
Okay. All right. So possibly something to look at next month or whatever.
Yeah, if the board decides it's something you'd like to see on the agenda, I mean, it would take two of you, but it can be placed on the agenda for discussion and or possible vote, a motion.
Okay. So that was the only one then? Okay. Okay. All right. Were there any comments or questions about any of the administrative department or committee reports that were submitted to us?
Madam Chair, the only comment I had was on the parent-teacher conference, just looking at the percentages, obviously the elementary parents did really well, at the junior highs and high schools not as well. Just how we can maybe try to get participation up from our parents a little better in those situations.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing to me to see some of those numbers.
Extremely low.
And
Yeah,
I
I was
can't
wondering.
imagine what the administrators must have felt like that for that.
One thing I wanted to mention is just how much I think I can speak for all of us that we appreciate these department heads putting these reports together for us. I know, like reading the literacy news. Is that you, Ashley, that puts that one together? I thought that was really well done. The student nutrition report and stuff, that was
so cute.
yeah, that was really good to read. I mean, they were all good. Transportation, thanks for putting that information together for us on the gas versus diesel. What so what do you think? Have you got any verdicts yet on what you like better?
I can't really tell. When I talked to the drivers, I talked to all 5 of them. Carrie's one of them. Some of them say they like their new bus. Some of them say they don't. So Carrie will tell you that it doesn't have the torque like a diesel does.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all in all, we wanted to get away from the DEF.
Mm-hmm.
We are having so much trouble with the DEFs.
I think the thing I'm looking forward to seeing is as it gets really cold out, how these gas ones are doing for us versus the diesel.
And that is something I'm looking forward to because right now I am starting my route at 5:15 in the morning. So
Well,
unless I want to get there, 4:45,
right.
warm up the bus.
Well, I think it'll be really interesting to look at the cost analysis after a year or two on maintenance and the price of fuel versus or diesel versus gas and
cost of the
cost of
filters.
The oil system on it's not like we're used to on a diesel.
Mm-hmm.
But I was told if our drivers know how to drive, we will have to worry about brakes.
Wow.
That's what I'm told, right?
We got to worry about brakes.
Maintenance on the diesel is actually a little more than on the gas. So I don't really.
Yeah, it's just it'll be interesting to see how it offsets. I mean,
3 mile an hour difference in what they average?
It is.
There it is.
So yeah.
I mean 3 miles per gallon. I didn't say that right.
So yeah, that was really interesting. But yeah, to all the department heads, thank you for those reports.
The only thing I was wondering, if there's no one here from maintenance, is there the convergent? Is that still not done yet, or can somebody the cameras and stuff? Because that was supposed to be done in August from that report. So I was wondering, are they still in process?
Yeah, they're in tough spots and they have to secure lifts, and then there was bad weather and then they couldn't get a lift, and then there was a bad camera, so it's been a minute.
Okay.
So,
All right. Any other comments on those? And then I understand the MCEA would like to give a report. Is that still what you want to do?
Sure.
Yeah, there you are.
Oh, people can hear me. Come on.
I think she's giving you the evil eye. I think that's what that was.
No, that was a misconception. No, it's good. Okay, so the MCEA was contacted by the Center for Teaching and Learning. Linda Jones is the executive director for that, and she reached out to Mr. Larson and visited with him about providing an awesome mentorship training for new teachers. And Mr. Larson thought that it would be good for our district, for new teachers in our district, so he signed a memorandum of understanding, MOU, and we proceeded with the training for that. So the training for the mentors was held last Thursday in Burley. We have three mentors from Minidoka that are going to be mentoring new teachers, which is phenomenal. So these are veteran teachers that want to give back to the profession.
Everything is provided through the Center for Teaching and Learning, and they are targeting teachers that are 5 years or less in their career. Some of the things that they will do, they have to contact building administrators once the mentees are figured out who those are going to be. They have to contact the building administrators, make sure that they can get access to the buildings, because they will come in twice in the fall. And because we were so late with the training, I don't know how that's going to look, because coming in twice in December is going to be kind of crazy. So it might just be once and then maybe 3 times in the spring. And observing the teachers, it's non-evaluative, so it doesn't go on their summative evaluation at all. And then, so they do that 4 times a year, and then they check in with the teachers each week, just to be a sounding board, to answer questions, to give guidance, to offer suggestions, just to be there and be a check-in person once a week for these new teachers. And then something that's really awesome, they are providing praxis test training. So training to get ready for the praxis. The Center for Teaching and Learning, it's a grant through the NEA that we received, and then they're going to allow them to take praxis tests. Say that 5 times fast. And help pay for those tests. And then if the mentee passes the praxis successfully, then they will be reimbursed by the Center for Teaching and Learning. So, and then there's classes, like 90-minute little snippet classes in the evenings that mentees can take. There's full day classes, just extra stuff to try to help them, because statistics, and we're all acutely aware that teachers within their first 5 years very seldom continue past year 5. So the hope is to help these new teachers and provide a mentor for them. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome, especially with the praxis part of it. So I'm super excited that we have that opportunity. And I believe each mentor is going to mentor approximately three mentees, I think. So I'm excited to see who that's going to be. And it's free for the mentees if they're IEA members. So they don't have to pay anything for it, and they get all of this awesome support, additional support. So, any questions? I'm not a mentor because I can't take on more, but I'll answer as much as you can, or as much as I can.
So do you happen to know who our mentors are?
Mara Nopel is going to be a mentor. Tina Williams is going to be a mentor, and Maria Fassett.
Okay.
Oh.
So
you're
some
talking already
very veteran teachers.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is only open for like 5 school districts in the state of Idaho right now in Region 4. So Minidoka, Kaja has, I don't even think they have as many mentors as we do. I think Kimberly has the mentor program, maybe Twin Falls, but it's just a few school districts that are giving this a test run. So it's pretty awesome that we have this opportunity to help.
It is very awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's great.
Very good. Definitely needed, I'm sure.
Yes.
Support our new teachers.
Yes.
And we'll have more mentees next year. Okay. We're going to put on some more to help if we need them to help cover everybody. Okay.
So when do the mentors, like, is it during their prep hours, or how do they do that when they take the time
Those
to go
are all
observe?
retired teachers.
Yeah,
Well, except for Marin.
Except for Marin.
Teaching, so she'll have to work it out, and the Center for Teaching and Learning will pay for her subs. So if she needs to go, like the Center for Teaching and Learning is paying for everything. So if she has to miss a class period or go during her prep or something, then they'll take care of that. Yeah.
So,
and that was one of the stipulations when I talked with Linda Jones, is, we had to be able to allow our teachers to leave their buildings, or if it's when they leave their classrooms, to go work with other teachers. But, it was such, I think the benefit was great enough in at least my eyes and theirs too, that, this is something we can do.
Very much.
So we will have 9 people, mentees.
I believe.
and that is if they belong, or who decides that?
The mentees must be members of the Education Association, but it's a great perk. Like, this is a program that would, if they had to pay for something additional, plus all the classes and everything. So maybe it'll be a recruitment tool. Maybe we probably, I'm sure, have enough new teachers already that are members that we can pick from to be part of it.
And then I just printed off a bunch of our, if you want to pass those around, classes that we have coming up. So one of the first ones is December 2nd, and it is on ethics, boundaries, and professional relationships for educators. And it is from 9 to 4. And members, it's free. Non-members, it's $100. And then, sorry about the printing on this one. My printer ran out of ink. This is guiding new teachers into the profession without burning yourself out. This is a really good one. Again, you can earn a credit. It's December 4. Dyslexia training. It's February 10th. And then we have a bunch of little ones that are dyslexia, educator code of ethics, student loan forgiveness, member benefits overview. And then we also have our Summer Institute, which we're going to have a lot of really good, this is fun. This is very educational. And in July, so we'll start having signups for that pretty soon.
Awesome.
Very nice. Did you guys see? You all saw this?
We've got the same food too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
No.
Very interesting. Speaking of your IEA summer convention and stuff, then we just, all 5 of us, as well as Mr. Larson, went to the Idaho School Board Association convention last week. And right now, everybody's going to get a little synopsis of something special that they learned at the convention. I still look at it and think that it's one of the best things a board member can do. And I really appreciate the fact that the district takes the time and money. We do get some reimbursement from the association for some of the classes that we take. So it is worth every dime to go and see what we are taught at these things. You know, just the different classes. I'm just going to say that one of the classes I attended talked a lot about a continuous improvement plan and how that should be guiding each and every one of our board meetings. So each time we should be having information about how the student success is doing. There's various ways we can get that. One way would be like Ashley's report that we had on the literacy learning. That kind of stuff is so important. And you hear about other districts and what they're doing, and when you hear about West Ada that has 40,000 students in there, a lot of them are supposedly reaching proficient, at least 80, more around 80%, which I find amazing. And it just makes me want it. And they say it's because of their high expectations. I'm thinking, are we not expecting enough here? I think we are, but how do you get there is some of it. And then just the whole thing on student success and how that was the theme. How are the students doing of our convention this year? You can even show your book.
The what?
That's on the front of your book. See,
On that book?
how are the students doing? That was the whole thing this year. Sorry, Russ. Yeah, I just really messed him up. Anyway, so that's my spiel. Anyway,
Madam Chair, can we share a little video, like 3.5 minutes?
You're gonna take my thunder, aren't you?
Well, it was going to say, Mr. Claridge and I were able to attend a class, and there was a video that was shown that I think really touched both of us, and I think it talks a lot about, we talk a lot about what to do on the school board, or how to do on the school board. This video was a little bit on why we do things. Can I share that real quick?
It was about,
I think so.
it's about 3 minutes ish. Well,
A little more than 3 minutes.
yeah.
Are you putting it up here?
Yeah, I'll put it up.
It was during our class on how to evaluate Mr. Larson. which I will say to that note that it was something that for me, like, really not so much that, but it's just the fact that the importance of the evaluation that we do for him, and not just from the standpoint of is he doing his job, but are we helping him to become better and push himself to help push the students by requiring and expecting from him and helping him set goals that he can achieve over from year to year to be able to facilitate the increase in achievement that we want to see from our students.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual. Squawk.
This was it. It was a great lesson.
They're gonna crush him with a piano.
Give a little Sarah Lee.
Geez, she found one with all the.
Friendships to new heights.
Maybe I should do it.
How do I know? A lot of people, when they think of the phrase, how do I know, they always want to put the what behind it. How do I know what I'm supposed to do? The question that you really should ask is, how do I know why I'm here? Because when you know your why, your what becomes more clear and more impactful. If you know, like for instance, people know that I do comedy, but that's what I do. My why is to inspire people to walk in purpose. So I can do comedy, I can write books, I can be in a movie, because all of it is motivated by my why. In fact, I have a new web series out called Michael Jr. Break Time. We probably just did the 6th episode. It's on YouTube. So every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we drop a new episode on YouTube of Michael Jr. Break Time. What it is it's me. I travel around the country and I do stand-up comedy, in case you didn't know. And in the middle of my comedy set sometime, I'll stop and just talk to my audience. And we've been filming this, and it's pretty cool. So we're in Winston-Salem. I'm going to show you a clip from Winston-Salem. And I'm just talking to this guy in the audience, and he tells me that he's a musical instructor at a school. So I was like, all right, you're a musical instructor. Can you sing? Let me hear you sing a song. So this is what happened at the last episode of Michael Jr.'s Break Time. Check it. So you're a musical director.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. Can you do the first part of that? Go ahead. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, once you give me the version, is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick. If you know which version I'm talking about, just see if that exists. Let me see what you got. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Right now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Okay. Here's what I want you to catch. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what becomes more impactful because you're walking towards or in your purpose.
So thanks for letting me share that. But
A diaper?
We were really touched by that, and it got us thinking a little bit more about why are we on a school board. Not so much focused on the how do we do things or what are we doing, but let's really figure out why. And so, as I knew we'd have an opportunity to share, I knew Jake would be totally comfortable with it too. We wanted to share that. We need to get more into why we're here and what we're trying to accomplish and how we're going to do it. I think we have great administrators in this room right now. We have teachers. We have classified staff and great people from the community. And so I would just challenge all of us to make sure that we're thinking about our why and what we're doing. So.
Can I go next? On the back of that, mine was a different session, but it tied it all in together. And it brought in, why do we do what we do? Why are we on the school board? Why are you an administrator? Why are you a parent? Why are you a teacher? What are you doing it for? And why are you doing it? And so, do you tell your story? Do you tell your story to your kids in your classrooms of why and what you're here for? Or are you there just to get a paycheck? Because once you involve those kids into your what, why we're here, is it to help them, to learn, to motivate them, or is it to get a paycheck? Tell our story. Tell your story. Whether it was, hey, you know what? I came from a broken home. I didn't have a mom, or I didn't have a dad. Probably a lot of those kids don't either. Hey, you know what? I didn't have breakfast half the time when I was in school. Half of those kids probably don't either, but they don't know that until you tell them your why and your story of what you're here for. Or is it to get a paycheck? That was one of my classes.
My turn. Well, the sessions I went to, a lot of it was, or some of them were similar to other sessions I'd been to in the past, but I always pick up new things. One of my favorite ones was the session on parliamentary procedure that the FFA kids from CUNA, I believe they're from CUNA, put on. And I mean, it's just so impressive watching those FFA kids. And I thought I knew a little bit about parliamentary procedure, but I learned more. So, but some of the other stuff I went to, basics of school law, that Amy White put on. It's pretty terrifying, but it always is. But it's even after you've been a few times, it's there's still a lot that you pick up and very, very beneficial for board members.
I gotta say, one that we all went to, all four of us went to, was very scary. There was a shooting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jefferson School District was talking about how to run effective board meetings and talked about some of their stances on security now since that happened in their district, and they have even gone so far as they have either an SRO or a deputy at all their board meetings now. And it's so yeah, kind of eye opening.
Well, obviously, I talked a little bit about that one class, and that was probably my favorite class. It was very impactful. But I also went down a rabbit hole and tried to learn more about school financing and try and better understand that. And really, it had to do with even questions that we should, that as board members, as it put it, we should be asking about the budget in order to help, make sure that we're providing proper budgets, and actually, approving proper budgets. And so that was a good one as well. And kind of in conjunction with that, I believe it actually was me and Trustee Perez went to one that they discussed. It was actually Valley View School District that had gotten a bond passed, and it was like, hey, this is what we did to help get a bond passed, which in hindsight, we sat there and listened to them, and we kind of walked out and said, well, that works really good for an urban area, but not really for our community. But it did, I think, open up those discussion channels to talk about, well, how are we different? How can we make differences to possibly, if we ever went to that level, that, what we could do to help potentially, pass a bond. And so there was some good information there as well. So
great meeting overall.
Yes.
Really good.
All the money is good.
Well, I get my own report, so
Well, there wasn't anything on board book for us to read.
okay.
Yeah, there was nothing there.
Guess you don't get one.
I guess not.
No, when they talked about attending the superintendent evaluation, I didn't realize, but on the ride home they asked me to sing "Amazing Grace," and then they kicked me out and made me walk. So. No, it was really good. There's things to learn, like Bonnie. The continuous improvement plan has to be the forefront of our mind. It seems like I've dealt with a lot of, just there's the lawsuits, there's grievances, there's terminations and letters of reprimand. It seems like that's what I've been dealing with. And for the school district to still be functioning really as good as it is, it's really indicative of the staff that we have here. I mean, the principals, the teachers, all the paras and classified staff that we have that make the district go. But as we focus on that that improvement plan, it is continuous. And why did we set the goals that we have? It's not just to hit a growth level or a proficiency level, but it's so our students can really be contributing members of whatever community they're in. And in the future. And I attended one on finance and budgeting, just knowing where our budget is. And really, I've had good business managers in the past, not that I don't now. Daryl, good job. But they've just known what to do, and I haven't really had to, until the end of that process, really get too involved. But I attended one and really, well, with Daryl being new, when do we actually start that process? And this was the West Ada business manager.
Yes.
Really, we need to start going in December. And what do you look at that early? And so moving forward. But why do we do that? Well, it's so we can finish, the budgeting process strong and not be over budget and give the kids what they need. But as we're going through that process and we're including administrators in, we can give the schools what they need, hopefully, and budget accordingly. So that was a really good session for me. Anyway, that's what I have to share.
And you got your couches home.
I did get my couches home.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was 2.
2 couches.
Yeah, he told us on Tuesday night, or Thursday night, his wife had bought some couches, sight unseen. Please bring them home.
Yep.
So we were all going to go to dinner. We told him, "Oh, go get your couches." So.
And Jake, I did have to buy straps.
I told you I'd sell them to you for real cheap.
They weren't in my truck. Yeah.
Anyway, just to sum it all up, many of you know that I didn't win the election and that someone else will be taking my place. And I just want to say that coming on the board in January like I did over 10 years ago now, it's a really hard time to come into it. And I just want to warn you right now. But going to a convention or something like that just does remind you on this is why we do what we do. And my heart has been in this for over 10 years. And I told myself I wasn't going to cry. But I just want to see the best for our students. And that they can excel and that we can be the best that we can be for them. So, Carrie, are you ready for a bus ride presentation?
Yeah. Hello.
So, I'm Carrie, I'm the bus trainer. Colleen's my bus. Yeah. So we got bus rates, and so I just made a slideshow, so I'm just going to flip through them. If you have questions, stop me. First of all, this is a list of all of our routes. Singly put, we have 92 total routes that our drivers do. They're all listed under the elementary schools. So Asequa's got 27. Haven's got 19. Paul's got 33, and Rupert's got 13. And that is counting going 3 or 4 routes per day. So we don't have 92 drivers. So here's an example. This is LaRue's route because my kids are on there, so I can out myself. So it shows you her roads, the direction she goes. All of the blue pins are her stops where she's gonna stop and hopefully pick up kids. I highlighted this one right here because it's my house. Don't come TP it. But when you click on the pin, it pops up. That's why I wanted to show you the address, the kid's name, and then it shows my name and my phone number too, and the kid's grade. On the tablets in the bus, when the driver, and I can show you in a minute, it'll actually pop up their student ID number too. So if we need to have Ashley or Colleen look them up in the office, one day I spelled it out for them, they still couldn't find it, so I gave them the student ID number and it popped right up, so that was super helpful. But over here on the side, you see like the 2, the 3, that's how many kids per stop she's gonna pick up, and it'll list all of those kids out. This is our live tracking mode. You can see the buses. I just took several snapshots when I happened to be in the office. And then if you hover over one of those buses, you can see I'm not moving because I'm in the office. I'm not actually in the bus. But I started my tablet so I could pop it up. It'll show you how fast it's going. And then if you click on it, it'll show you the route it's going to be taking and where the little green box on the side is where I'm at or the next stop that I'm going to be making. There's another map, just a couple different ones, show you the different areas we're in. So this is cool. We can flip the history, and I looked today, I pulled up all the way back from when we started this school year. So any day I can pull up and find out what their history was, where they went. All of the blue pins are the ones I picked up. The yellow ones right there, they didn't ride, so I pushed skip and it skipped them. If you don't skip it, then it will reroute it and cause a little trouble, but we're learning. This is also cool. All these little red dots are times that I stopped, and it'll tell me that I was going 0 miles per hour. It'll tell you what time I was there and how long I stopped. I stopped for 16 seconds to pick up that kid. And that is long enough to pick them up. They jump on the bus and you go. It's just a blow up of that same page. It's not always that quick. Sometimes just or if you're LaRue, 15.
Or in your box, 2 seconds.
Yeah. Or Colleen, we got a call in the other day and I have an answer and she's like, the bus didn't stop. I'm like, okay, let me look it up. We got this tracking thing, and
I said I did.
what number did looked up, I'm like, ooh, Colleen was driving there.
I was at the wrong house.
She did stop for 2 seconds. You better be out there waiting for us now. We got stuff going on. So we can pull it up in satellite view too.
And the parents can see this too, correct? When the bus is
Yeah,
coming?
so I've got that in a few slides here. Yeah. That's just, and it'll show anywhere along the line. I can, every 2 seconds, it records where you're at, how fast you're going. So here I was going 55 after the school zone. Yeah, I'm sure. And there I was going 4 miles per hour, apparently through West Minidoka. 32 miles per hour. And then if I hover over one of those pins, it brings up, I couldn't hover over one of the student stops, of course, but it'll bring up the student stop name, all that information. So this was Paul Elementary. This is what the parents see. So they have a choice over here of which, and I think I don't play with it enough, so I think it automatically brings up the correct route.
Usually I click on it on
And
the
you click on it.
on the left
You
side.
gotta choose which route you're gonna
Yep.
be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you get to choose your AM route, or your first one is the elementaries, and then the second route is your junior high school. And then so this was a snapshot of the AM, and then this was the first run and the second run. This is just for route where she's gonna go.
But it's really easy to tell if you don't pick the right one because it says that one was completed at whatever time, and when you click on the right one, it shows the bus driving.
Yeah. So if you pick the right one, it shows the bus driving down
Yep.
the road at various spots, and then the parents can choose over on the side in their settings which notifications they want to get.
It's like Godzilla's bus.
So
Camus coming into Paul. Camus.
And it'll tell you what time. It gives you an estimated time. Those estimates I don't find very accurate. So I tell parents, watch the bus going down the road, and when they get close, send your kids out. Watch for them. The reason for that is because all the roads in our county except like the Sequa Highway and the Paul Highway are pegged at 35 miles an hour, and we don't. We go the speed limit. It's not always 35, so that creates a lag in the ETAs. So, any questions so far?
Do the routes? Do you guys pick the routes, or does it have does the program have a? I've done similar ones for like deliveries back in the day, way back when, but it would actually help facilitate which route by grouping different areas to kind of maximize or minimize the amount of time.
So we just went in and put in the routes we already had, and then we've kind of adjusted from there. The preschool route, we knew that all of her kids were up on the north side of the county, so I just typed in all of their addresses. It was a jumbled mess, and then I could just rearrange what stops are 1, 2, 3, and so we were able to make a route in just an hour or two out of nothing.
But understand, we have never had a routing system. So all summer, Carrie's done this all summer. Every single route we had to take from paper, put it on there, put it on the routing system. So she has worked tremendously hard to get this together.
And then I had the drivers come in and help fine tune it because
Right.
it'll tell you your next stop is on the right side or the left side, and I might not know which side of the road it
Right.
is, or it's Google Maps too, so it pegged a few wrong houses. So the drivers were really instrumental too.
I've got a question. Actually, it would be for Mrs. Johnson. Can our app, the app that we have now for our school webpage, can it have a link to this? Is that a possibility?
It runs as its own separate app. Whereas
It is on its own separate app, so that so
parents have to download the app.
Yeah.
So whatever whatever email they registered with at the beginning of the year, that went into Power School, and that's the email we send the app invitation to. So as long as the parents put an email, then they get it. If not, then they send me an email when they find out it's available, and I fix it.
Send your phone number.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that. So yay, good for them.
And we are actually done with, I think we're done with paper. The only one that we haven't done yet is Rupert, and we are working on Rupert. We're hoping to have it done by the middle of December. We're hoping.
Anything else so far? Okay, so we can send out notifications to the parents, either some that I already sent out. Hopefully they got them. But we can send it to specific routes or a whole school district or the certain school, whatever. The parents cannot contact the drivers through the app. They still have to call the office. Yeah, that would be a distraction. So this is kind of cool. This is all of the kids in the district. pegged for 4,454 of the kids. So this is kind of a cool tool to in the future, maybe if we want to know how to route things better or whatever. So I scrolled in. This on the left is Rupert, and on the right is Paul. So you see clusters of kids everywhere, and then sporadically everywhere else.
The red dots are students. What are the green ones?
Those are just landmarks, like fairgrounds.
Ridley's Market.
Ridley's.
In case you know where that's at, it's on there.
Water park. So any one of those red dots, I can hover over it, and it'll tell me the kid and their address. So again, I outed my own kid. So that's kind of cool. And making a route. So this is the preschool route that I just kind of did. The app's not on the preschool buses. This was just to help her make a route because it was really confusing. Because she has all of those stops. So we just lined them all out, and so the pink is her morning. Her green ones that you can't even see anymore are muddled in there behind the blue ones. The blue ones when they go home. So the green one and the blue one are the same houses because they pick up their noon and take their noon home. Somebody else takes their morning ones home. That's all for that. Yeah.
I just had a thought of how's the security on this one, where all the kids are all listed and everything.
Yeah, I'm told that's really good.
Hacking or whatever.
No, it is all. I can't remember the term for it, but it was
ultra security.
Yeah, it was. We're good.
And you can't see every bus. So my child's on the bus. I can't see where your child's at.
Yeah.
There's just, we will not allow that.
And that's why we email specific parents with specific routes. And even still, and that's why it's so important for parents to register their kids correctly. I had one on my route, thankfully, that I was able to catch it because I know the kid. And the parents had split over the summer, but he didn't change anything in Power School. So all the information was going to ex-mom, and she didn't have custody. So I quickly fixed that, but it's really important to have. So I double check everything when the emails come in, make sure everything matches with Power School, and then you only get your specific child's stuff. And that's why there's not dots on the parent app too. It doesn't show you everybody's stop even on your own route. It's only yours. So yeah. So these are the tablets that go on the bus. She's super annoying, but so I turned mine off. But so it just gives you your ETA. So it says I will be there at 8:47 tonight. My first stop. So it's handy for the bus drivers because they can click on the little thing, the little menu button, and it lists out all of the stops that it's going to be. You're going to have, and then the students. And this is the part where I used. I had a girl. We were waiting for her parents, and they weren't showing up. And so you just click on it. Their name brings up their student ID, their grade, their address, parent, and phone number. So this is helpful in threats too. Like, I can call your parents. Should I sit down or should I give them a call?
Quick question. Going back to what I thought was a great question on the security side of things, are those all password protected? So if someone were to come on a bus and take one off,
no.
Can we get something like that?
We can look into that. Yeah, we could log out of them every night.
And we do
have
have different
log
things
out
on back
remotely.
in.
But even if somebody got on when you were doing the bus route and took it, you need a password.
Well, we're not supposed to get out of the bus at all if we're
Well, but if
once
there's an
you start
emergency,
right?
You know,
right.
I know it's probably unlikely, but in that event,
Right.
I just would be interested if we could reach out to the company that we're working with and see if there's something that
it
could be password protected after, you know,
Yeah,
if
for
it's,
sure.
if it's been timed out for 10 minutes, then it just shuts down the screen and
Yeah.
you put a password in.
Yeah.
I just, obviously our kids' safety is extremely important.
For sure. My husband's one of those, like, what are you buying?
Yeah.
Anyway. But it is very useful, and our mechanics have really appreciated it because they get on and they just push start, and as long as the drivers, and most of the drivers have been good about updating them, coming in once in a while. We got some that don't, but
I was on one this morning and I was completely lost where I was at. I couldn't figure out how to get the skip button to skip the one stop, and it rerouted me I don't know how many times. Luckily I knew the route, but it rerouted me to where I finally said to the kid behind me, "Am I going the right way?"
And that's where do your sub drivers have access to these?
Yep.
What sub drivers?
Well, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yes, Dustin had a good access to it today.
Okay.
Because Dustin ended up having to drive this morning, and yeah, we're in the hole right now. If I had one more person call in tomorrow, we won't be doing anything tomorrow. We're in this right now. We have a lot of sickness in our department. So
Everywhere.
yeah.
We have a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Carrie showed me this program, and I thought that the board would appreciate getting to see it and how it actually functions, because we know it was not cheap, but having something that will help in that matter so that teachers know or that parents know where their kids are, and I think the app is great. So I do
And it
know.
helps cuts down on our phone calls.
Yes.
Just side note of that, Carrie, we had a situation, and I know Mr. Larson's been involved in this, and so was Ashley got informed. We had a driver call us and say, one of your bus drivers ran a stop sign down on 1200. So I go to Carrie and I say, we need to look at this. So she pulls it up and she says, it's not a stop sign, it's a yield sign. Okay, I had the guy send me the video. We watched the video of the guy taking the video of the bus driver crossing the thing. So Carrie tracked how fast she was going across the thing, how many seconds it took for the thing to get back to him. So what else did we track?
That was about it, how fast she was going. He was like, she was going too fast.
Right. So we tracked all that.
Throw up dust.
So we called him back and said, this is what we know of this. Thank heavens Carrie has all this down. This is what we know of this. Do you have anything else to say about this? And he said, oh, I didn't know you had a tracking device.
It shuts things down
Really fast. It really does. Or a parent will call and say, hey, you missed our stop. Well, give me your address, give me your phone number, I will check it, and we'll get back with you. And most generally, we've been there. Just not, they've overslept or something. So it has cut down a lot of our phone calls. And we do appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, and she does a wonderful job. She's doing a wonderful job with this. This is all her, not me. I just give her the tools.
Well, I'm glad it's working out so well for you, because it wasn't cheap.
Oh, I was gonna say, I've had a few, I think they assume that it's going to track individual kids, and that's a whole different system and a whole different dollar part. If you wanna go that way, great, I'll be happy to. But this only tracks the buses, not where the individual, they won't know which kids are on which buses. It's up to the kids to get on the right bus.
Yes, thank you. Okay. We're down to our business section, and I think I'm going to ask, we didn't specifically say where we were sticking travel in, but I think I would like to go ahead and ask if anyone has any questions, especially Mr. Sukan brought a couple things up, so that's why we,
In the discussion part?
Yeah.
on the business part. Because I guess we skipped policy discussion. Oops.
back to it.
Did anyone have any questions on the policy?
Since I managed to skip that one.
Okay.
Ready? Well, there's just a couple things I saw that was wondering if I could get some clarification. One of them was on the cheer competition in Boise. The dates of travel are December 1st through 2nd of 2024. So I'm assuming that's supposed to be 2023, unless this is just really well planned ahead.
Yeah, no one's here to answer that question.
I can answer that. Yes, it is next month.
So just a typo.
Okay.
Okay. That's what we thought, but just clarifying. And the other thing that I was looking at was the middle school's conference to Los Angeles on their school improvement. It looked like there was quite a few people going, and I know as a board we keep hearing about how short subs are, and just wondering is there enough subs to cover everybody? While that's, I mean, training's a great thing on your school-wide improvement, but is there enough coverage?
Yeah, so one of the great things about this particular training is that happens on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and so we realize that's an opportunity to get our entire math teams from each school to be able to attend the exact same training. I mean, one of the reasons we're in school improvement right now, one of the primary reasons is due to our math scores. Sure. And so we wanted to kind of reset with both math teams together, getting the same training on CPM plus other math instructional topics that we covered there. So I that's to answer your question. Whatever we have to do to cover that time, that day or two that we have. I know we have at East we have 3 pairs that we can use to fill in some spots. And so last week we had 2 days where so you're looking at special ed. Okay, sorry, my mistake. I was looking at the wrong one. This one's February 22nd, and then returning on the 26th.
Yeah. Okay. And that one's funded out of your SWIP.
Correct. Yeah, it was put in our SWIP plan, which has been talked about.
Sure.
Approved by
Yep.
everybody.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not taking that fund.
Okay. Cool.
Just talking about travel, Russ. I guess I want to comment. You know, there had been an article written for the weekly mailer 2 weeks ago to talk about, hey, West is going here, and it's an all expense paid trip, and you know, we're paying for them to go to ball games or Disneyland, you know, that kind of stuff. I just wanted to say that was a trip that East also went on. So, you know, to call West out, I thought was a little, that was not appropriate, but East was there. And nowhere do we use district funds for these all expense paid trips. I mean, this one coming up is out of the monies we're getting, you know, for their SWIP plan. You know, these plans are developed, you know, with the leadership teams, the capacity builders. It was Michelle Widmeyer as part of federal programs before she retired, you know, as a part of that. So there's a lot of input that goes into this. You know, I do think it'll be good training, but I also have the same concern. Boy, if we have 13 teachers gone just out of these 2 buildings, what's it going to look district-wide when we have, you know, 6 staff, or we have, you know, people who've already been approved for personal leave. But you know, when I talked to Greg and also Corey, you know, they do have a plan to get some of the positions covered if needed, and maybe that'll take us back to our usual non-covered positions. It is a challenge, though. We do need subs. I just wanted to point that out. I mean, these aren't just district funds that are being used. There was a purpose, and the purpose was for trainings and for development of staff, to help our students, specifically, in the area of math where we are low, and we know that as a district. In fact, it's a state problem. The state's low in math, and we fall right in line with that. And so if we can get teachers to help, with funds that we've been given, so we don't have to use general fund dollars, great.
Absolutely.
And then, what staff decides to do on their personal time after the classes and trainings are over, that's up to them. But
And it's their dollar.
It is their dollar.
Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you for those clarifications. And
we really appreciate it. It's been, like I said earlier, we've implemented things immediately that we learned, and just like you mentioned in your board, ISBA conference, and just great things you can bring back and implement immediately. So we appreciate the support.
absolutely, and as a board, I can see the value of the trainings, and I know that they're definitely worthwhile. But like I said, just we hear about the lack of subs on the other end, and just want to make sure that everything's being covered. But that answered all my questions, I believe. So.
I wanted to say thank you for putting it in so early, and that we're not getting it at the last minute.
No problem at all.
So we appreciate that, and so does the board secretary over there. These last ones that we get like the day before
Or the day of.
or the day of.
Just as a little plug for East, they actually had it in right before last board meeting, but the agenda had already been approved. So they're a month early.
Wow.
That's great.
Plus the additional time.
Yeah,
Way to go, Greg.
I was disappointed because we were trying to get that what it says, 4 months in advance, and we were there, but there was some glitches along the way.
Well, we still have some coming in the day of or the day before, and we question them.
Well, really, we don't question them. They just got to come to an end. If they're not in the Wednesday before the board meeting, we are not going to visit those things. It's just in order to make sure that we have an opportunity as a board to do our due diligence and review everything. We need to make sure we have that commitment. So I appreciate the efforts that have been put in on that part.
Okay, Mr. D. Kent, I think you have a comment or question?
To Mr. President's comment there, according to travel policy, which we have reviewed multiple times the last couple weeks in the finance side of the world over here, you've got to have it in on time. We are fully caught up as of right now, and anything else coming in late is denied.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so having pulled travel out of the consent agenda, we need to have a motion to approve travel as presented.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve travel as presented.
Okay, motion by Mr. Sukan.
Oh, with the exception of the dates
Of the dates.
on the Minidoka cheer.
For the cheerleaders who are way out of it.
Yeah. It's a good thing he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Motion by Mr. Sukan.
December 1st and 2nd, 2024. It should be 2023.
Has made a motion to approve travel
Second.
as presented with the exception of the chair, which was misstated. And we will still approve it, but we just want to note that it was misstated.
Yes, okay.
Typo.
Gotcha. Yes. So motion by Mr. Sukan. Did somebody said second? Jake, second. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. The West fundraiser. Any comments or questions on that?
I do. How many fundraisers have they had so far?
West?
Oh, yeah.
I think this is just for the West Dance and Student Council, right?
It is.
Publication. It sounds like they're kind of combining some.
Right. But I was curious as to how, if they've already done one.
If they have, I don't know.
I don't think they've done one. I
don't think this organization's done. They had the golf tournament that they did, but I don't remember now exactly who that was for.
Community school.
Community school.
And then they do their regular PTA stuff, but this I would say is a different. I don't know how that works out, but it's different organizations for sure.
they're pretty good. The 3 groups that asked for them. I don't remember the groups asking for any others.
Okay. Is anyone willing to make a motion of approval for the West fundraiser that has been requested?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the West Minico fundraiser for dance and student council.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Perez.
It's also for publications.
And publications, yeah.
Publication, is that what you said?
Publications.
Publication, student council, and dance.
Yep.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Mrs. Anderson. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We talked about having an assistant board treasurer for the purpose of having someone on the board that also goes over the financials a little bit ahead of time so that any questions that might pop up we can have answers before it all happens. And so we had attempted this before, and anyway, the person who was the assistant board treasurer changed. That's all passed. So right now, we have one board trustee who has said that he would be willing to do that, but we need to have a nomination or a motion to put him in that place.
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion that I nominate trustee Jay Claridge for the assistant board treasurer.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Perez and second by Mrs. Anderson. This is something, by the way, Daryl, just so you know, this is something that the pundits talk about having for us at the upper levels. It's not something we're just coming up with, just so you know.
They don't trust you.
No.
Some of the board training that we've had, some of the board training that we've had, they advocate for this, and
they give a lot of good reasons and support. So
and I feel like Jake's background and his experience with finances and numbers, I think it's a good fit if he's willing to do it.
And Daryl, I'm not happy about it either.
Do we need to go over some roles or what, expectations or what of the position? Or
oh, we can do that. I think there was discussion about having that all put together.
Okay.
And that's something that can be worked on.
So he at least
so
knows what we just throw him under the bus.
Yeah, we're
for,
just right under there. So
It's not a job description, but just a
no,
responsibility.
it's a responsibility. Correct. Yeah. And so with that motion on the floor, first and motion and second, then is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Bye.
I think that was unanimous, sir. You are it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
I'll send you a bill.
We'll double your pay.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Overtime.
Item C, the approval of bus bid is what was deleted earlier. So now we are on D, approval of change in guest teacher handbook. There's just a little bit of change in the bottom part.
Tell them why we did it.
Yes.
In the original one, it said over 4 hours they would get full time. So some people were working 4 hours, 5 minutes, and wanted full pay. So they went to now that whatever's on the subsystem, like for certified, it says half day or full day. That's what they'll get paid. Classified is hourly, but it'll go either half day or full day, and it'll go by what is on the subsystem. Some of them were staying just a few extra minutes and saying that they'd get paid for a full day instead of a half day.
Okay. So that would be the reason for the change that is before us. Does anyone have any other comments or questions? About it?
Sorry, I have a question. The salary schedule is not changing, just that portion of it, correct?
Are you talking about the salary schedule as 4 subs? No. The only part that was changed was that little bit that said over 4 hours
It was,
full day.
it was
That's
just
only thing.
the highlighted part at the bottom. Is that all?
At the very bottom.
At the very bottom of it. Yeah, it's in pink.
part
Or
in
it's
green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sorry,
another
I
color.
thought I did a light green and it's a bad green. Yeah, that's the only part, Brandy, that we changed is just that go with what the subsystem said. Yeah, the red and all that was all already there.
Okay. Any other clarification anybody needs on that? Okay, then I would entertain a motion for approval of the change in the guest teacher handbook.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the change in the guest teacher handbook.
Okay, motion by Mr. Sukan,
Second.
second by Mr. Claridge. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now on the new amended and deleted policies, then so that many of these can get going, and we've already had some discussion on some of these, then
Do you want me to whip them through real quick to tell them what they did?
yes, please.
Okay, so the Digital Learning Academy had gone to the board once before, then it got dropped, so it's back on there, okay? And it was just for, I put it back as a first reading. The public access to district records was just a few changes as to what needs to be done. At the community patron, it makes it a lot more strict as to what they can't do when they come into the schools, what patrons can't do. The suicide one, we had 5 policies. ISBA had one that covered them all. So if we take the ISBA one, we can delete our 4 other ones because they're 2 or 3 pages each. Use of restraint and seclusion, they've looked that one over. It goes straight with the state law and the form. Student health screening is the state. I'm sorry.
You went over number 5.
Yeah, we skipped number
Oh,
5.
student searches questioning. That's new with the new parental law with the rights and everything. It's a little more strict as to what has to happen.
Plus, it follows the law
It
pretty
follows,
close.
yes, it follows absolutely the law. Same with the use of restraint. The physical health screening just states that if there's going to be an eye exam, parents have to have the chance to opt out now. They have to let them know. And then the parental rights is just a few updates from the legislature. And then the 9th, we're still kind of holding on.
And policy number 9 is suggested that we hold that one on for another reading.
Yeah, just so the counselors can really get a grip on it.
Yeah, and it does follow the law.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just
these all came. All the changes on these are all from ISBA.
ISBA.
All from ISBA, especially the new ones with the parental rights law. Yeah. They're all updated from ISBA. Yes. Yeah.
So.
And there'll probably be more updates with these in the next few months.
So are we just holding 9?
That's holding 9.
Okay.
So you get to hear me read 1 through 8. So I'd entertain a motion for acceptance of recommendations for changes or deletions of policy R226.00 Idaho Digital Learning Academy IDLA classes, policy 424.00 public access to district records, policy 426.00 community patron visits at schools, replacement policy R370.50 suicide, and deletion of policies 370.50P1, 370.50P2, or procedures, 375.50 procedure 3. Policy R340.40 student searches, questioning, and arrest. Policy R340.50 use of restraint and seclusion techniques and form. Policy R352.30 student health physical screening examination. And policy R382.00 parental rights. Is anyone willing to make that motion?
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion as read by the chair.
Okay, motion by Mr. Perez, second by Mr. Sukan. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then, as stated, policy R383.00, with its procedure efforts to notify parents, guardians of changes in student health or well-being procedure and form, will be held for another reading. And that should be the 3rd, which means we should be able to pass. So,
Mr. Chairman, we are looking at going with ISBA's policy. We're looking into what that would cost. I think over the last few months, we've found policies that contradict each other, or, as Carrie pointed out, we have one policy where we currently have 3. We ran into issues with contradictions between our grievance policy and the staff discipline that we used to have. I mean, it seems that maybe we were using ISBA policy and an old Eberhardt, Mackey, and Taplin policy, and they just don't always go together very well. And so we are looking at just moving to one platform for policy.
And I can tell you, having sat on the executive board for the ISBA, I have come to a new appreciation for April Hoy and what she does, because she's the one who researches and writes and goes over and over and over and over those policies to make sure that they match the law as best as possible. So I think that's a wise choice. So with that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I apologize, before we adjourn, you kind of made reference to it already, but I wanted to touch on it. We are blessed to be able to have the leadership of Mrs. Hines till the end of the year. Thank you so much for your service. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't have an opportunity to welcome Mr. Rick Kent, who's going to be a new board member starting with us in January. I'm grateful you're here at the meeting today and look forward to seeing you here regularly. But thank you, Mrs. Hines. I'm grateful to have you and your leadership for the next couple of months.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give her a round of applause.
You really will make me cry. I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I make that
Motion
motion.
by Mrs. Anderson,
Second.
by Mr. Sukan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, Cindy.